Everything this corrupt establishment is doing to me is all about preserving their power and control over the American people. They want to damage you in any form, but they really want to damage me so I can no longer go back to work for you.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Donald Trump's Mar-A-Lago home being raided by the federales. Now, this is of no surprise to me at all. Okay, it's no surprise at all. Trump has been under scrutiny, investigated, raided, spied on, and whatnot since 2015. Why? Because he's not part of the establishment. He's not part of their group. He's not part of the good old boy, good old girl club, whatever you want to call it. So they don't want him here. This is political because they know their guy, Joe Biden, is messing up right now. He's messing up really, really bad. He can't even put on a jacket. He can't even string two words together. He looks like he has 2 feet in the proverbial grave. I'm not wishing that on him. Federales, if you're listening, I'm not wishing that on him. I'm just saying he looks decrepit, like he's 79 going on 1,079, right? The man's old, a whole sarcophagus, a mummy, walking around, reanimated with some kind of juice or something in him, make him keep going. He doesn't look good. Everybody knows it. He's not doing a very good job. So if Trump was to run again in 2024, he'd win. If it's between Trump and Joe Biden, Trump would win. It's not even close. They're talking about the election and whatnot. They can steal it. Well, different states can strengthen their laws. This is not just, straight from D.C. as far as the federal voting for the president. Each state has their own laws and rules that they can implement. California, New York, etc. They may have some very liberal rules. You go up there with no ID, no name, and say, hey, my name is X, Y, and Z. I live at X, Y, and Z place. I'm going to vote, although that's not you. It's totally permissible, but those spots are going to go left regardless. But I'm going down the rabbit hole. The point is that they know, the establishment, they know that Trump could run again, and if he ran again, he'd win. So they got to do stuff like this. Now, what's going on? What's the actual problem here? Well, there's 2 investigations happening right now. First is the January 6th thing, obviously. That's been going on for a long time. And you also have an investigation into Trump, quote unquote, mishandling documents from the White House. So I guess what they're saying is he brought some documents from the White House to Mar-a-Lago. So they had to go raid Mar-a-Lago, breaking into the safe, which is not even legal, by the way. You got to have a warrant to go crack somebody's safe. Okay. Now you're raiding the home. That's one particular warrant. To crack the safe is another different warrant. Did they have that warrant? Who knows? Who cares, right? The federales, Joe Biden administration, they're pretty much above the law. And it's not even about the Biden administration specifically. It's about the feds just kind of doing their own thing, kind of just a rogue little group. Now, I'm not going to say all federal agents are like this, but too many of them, the leadership is like this. We know that. That's been uncovered over the past few years. We know the quote unquote intelligence community, they're the exact same way. There was a letter that they all signed. 51 quote unquote intelligence experts signed a letter saying that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. It was a classic. It had all the earmarks, all this, that, and the third. And we know now what we knew from the beginning, which is that a laptop is real. You have him on laptop, smoking crack, Russian hookers, all kind of crazy stuff. Why did they say that it was fake? Why did 51 quote unquote intelligence officials, experts, or whatever said that it was fake? Well, because the tape came right during the election. The laptop came like right during the election, October. So they couldn't afford to have that impact their plan going forward of Joe Biden winning 81 million votes, allegedly. They couldn't have that impact that. So they had to put out a letter saying that it was fake. But we know that the letter was fake to try and just misdirect the American people. That's what that was. Now, getting back to what's going on right here in Mar-a-Lago, it's purely political, nothing else. Because, as I said, Trump has been investigated, spied on, impeached not once but twice, beat both impeachments. Nothing came of the spying. Nothing came of the investigations. It's nothing. The women came out and said that he did X, Y, and Z. Nothing, burger. It's nothing. So for the past 7, going on 8 years, they've been trying to find something and they found nothing. They're not going to find anything here. The reason why they're doing it is because a lot of normies, they'll say, oh man, they keep rating Trump, man. You know, they found something. But even though nothing was found, people will say that Trump keeps getting rated and that's why they don't want to vote for him, or that's why he's a racist or something like that. Simple-minded people, they're trying to attack. That's all that there is really to it. Now, there's articles and whatnot, but here's a statement from Trump that I'm going to put on the screen, and I'll place it in the box below if you want to read it that way. Here's a statement by Donald J. Trump, 45th president of the US of A. These are dark times for our nation as my beautiful home, Mar-A-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, is currently under siege, raided, and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. And let's pause right here for a moment. The thing about this raid is that it wasn't even needed because Trump wasn't even there. He was in New York City. So he wasn't even there. What's the point of raiding the home, breaking into the safe, and all this crazy stuff? Are you going to raid Hunter Biden's home? You got videotape of him smoking crack. Last I checked, mean tweets weren't illegal, but smoking crack is illegal. Buying a gun illegally and dumping it off behind the school, I thought that was illegal. Will there be a raid on Hunter Biden? Will there be a raid on Joe Biden? 10% for the big guy. If there's no raid on them, but there's a raid on Donald Trump for quote unquote documents, and they cracking the safe with no warrant, if that's going on, then you know what time it is with the federales. But I digress. Let's continue with the statement from Donald Trump. Nothing like this has ever happened to a president of the United States before. After working and cooperating with the relevant government agencies, this unannounced raid on my home was not necessary or appropriate. It is prosecutorial misconduct, the weaponization of the justice system, and an attack by radical left Democrats who desperately don't want me to run for president in 2024. Exactly. Especially based on recent polls, and who will likewise do anything to stop Republicans and conservatives in the upcoming midterm elections. That's another thing. So when you see Trump get raided, that could affect people that have been endorsed by Trump in the upcoming midterm elections. And then if you're conservative and you're in any kind of way linked to Trump, even without a Trump endorsement, that can affect you negatively as well. Some of the soft brain normies, they may think that way because, like I said, a lot of these people that vote don't really understand what's going on. They're uninformed voters, right? Somebody was talking about, oh, you should have a college degree to be able to vote. Those are probably the most uninformed voters. Well, I won't say that. I'll say that they think that they are informed very well, but a lot of times they're not informed at all. They are indoctrinated. There's a difference, all right? If I go to a re-education camp, quote unquote, in China, and I get taught things that they want me to know, yeah, I'm educated as far as what they want me to know, but I don't know what I don't know because they don't want me to know it. That's how that goes, right? You get taught their language, but not your own language. But I'm going way too deep, so let me go ahead and digress. Let me see. Such an assault can only take place in broken third world countries. Exactly. That's that banana republic type stuff. You know, sham trials, political stunts, things like that. That's what they do in third world countries, not in the first world place like the USA. And it's to the point now with the drugs going on and the lack of the ability to have proper law enforcement because they got their hands tied, a lack of border security. We're becoming third world in many parts of the country, and that's a fact. Let's continue. Sadly, America has now become one of those countries, yes, corrupt at a level not seen before. They broke into my safe. What is the difference between this and Watergate, where the operatives broke into the Democratic National Committee? Here, in reverse, Democrats broke into the home of the 45th president of the United States. And that's a statement of Donald Trump. I think that was very well said. That's what's going on. It's a third world, banana republic, ridiculous BS. Now, some people are very upset at this. They think this is like, it starts war, but I think this has been going on for a long time. This is nothing else other than what they've been doing for the past few years. It's the exact same thing. It's political stuff. That's all that it is. The whole thing, going back to Stormy Daniels, Russia. It's all political. It's all to just poison the mind of the American people. So you think that this guy is unworthy of your vote. So you will vote for the other guy out of fear. If you talk people on the street and they say, hey, who'd you vote for? And they say, Joe, and you ask them why, they may say, oh, because the other guy was so bad. And when you ask them, well, what did he do that was so bad? Give me some examples. They're going to come up light. They might say something about Russia. Why? It's because the media kept pumping into their head over and over and over again. The media will have specific things that they want you to know. The Russia collusion, Donald Trump Jr. having the meeting. They have those specific things, but the specific things don't matter. What really matters is Russia. Russia's to blame. Vladimir Putin. You can't pay for your gas, food, electricity, mortgage, whatever. You can't put clothes on your back. Oh, you know the reason why? It's because of Vladimir Putin. Not talking about printing and spending trillions of dollars that ain't gonna do nothing but cause inflation, which has caused inflation. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about Vladimir Putin. Okay, Vladimir Putin, listen, as I close, I'm gonna say this. If Putin just invaded Ukraine, which is what he has done, or they have done, that's not enough to make the United States do anything. What we do is give Ukraine a bunch of money because we got a lot of dealings over there in Ukraine. We want that particular part of the world to be able to aggress upon Russia. We're fighting a proxy war against Russia in Ukraine. It's weird. I'm gonna just really close here. We're attacking people, and then when they say or do anything to defend themselves, we play the victim. And when I say we, I mean the U.S. government. That's kind of what's going on. We attack people, we attack places, we attack countries, and then when there's any kind of retaliation or any kind of striking back, we play victim. That's whack. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about the raid on Mar-A-Lago? Was it necessary, unnecessary? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at with it. This is completely unnecessary. What are you going to find? That's what I want to know. Documents? What documents? Like, I mean, what are you really going to find? You're not going to find anything. You didn't find anything with 2 impeachments. You spent millions upon millions of dollars and found nothing. Absolutely zero. You're going to find the exact same thing here. Okay. And really, it's almost like you want Trump's base to become galvanized. That's all you're going to do. They see something like this as an attack on them, not just Trump, but as an attack on them, as an attack on the American, as an attack on us, the American people. So that's going to galvanize us even more to go out there and vote. It's not going to do what you think it's going to do. You know, some of these soft brain 55-year-old normies that watch CNN while they drinking their coffee in the car dealership, okay, getting their brakes worked on, the tires rotated, they may look at it and think something. You may be able to convince Stephen King and the Navarros of the world, but your regular everyday normie, it ain't going to work the way you think. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.